Hey, so today I want to talk about 1979 Bob Fosse directed film All That Jazz. Now, I'm gonna be out front and say that I'm not a biggest fan of the musicals. I actually like those kind of musicals that go beyond the kind of set routines of musical and tries to talk about something different. And I guess All That Jazz has been hailed as the non-musical musical film that everybody likes. I have known about this film for such a long time, more than a decade, if more, and I finally got around to watching it because I was feeling like, of all the horror and blockbuster films I've been watching lately, there's a time for a classic. So I chose All That Jazz. Now, I want to say that right off the bat, I wouldn't think or know if I would count All That Jazz as a classic film or a masterpiece film. For me, a masterpiece film is a very revered film, and my masterpiece list is kind of its own, and that certainly would not match with most people because I would say that for me, I already consider Guardians of the Galaxy to be a masterpiece, which I don't think anybody would consider, or at least at this point. Now, All That Jazz is an interesting film. It's definitely an interesting film because I feel like the kind of pseudo or faux autobiography thing that Bob Fosse directed, where the character Roy Scheider plays of Joseph Gideon, is actually kind of molded in the shadow of his own persona. So, in that way, it's a very fun watch. This film tries to do something that not I won't think a lot of musical film at that point was actually doing, that it was trying to shed light on darker themes, like where things weren't good, things weren't fun and happy. The musicals of this film is born out of exasperation, desperation, and kind of feeling being lost in life. So in that way, I feel like All That Jazz is a very mature film, and that's why I think a lot of people actually like it. And I would say that a lot of kind of modern archetypical kind of loner or womanizer artist or creator, singer, writers, what have you, was created, what actually done in line with Joseph Gideon, because this type of male protagonist is very pervasive in current, or at least in 2010s medium. So in that way, I think this film was a pioneer. Now, as far as the musical number goes, they're solid. They're definitely solid. They don't kind of distract you or kind of take away from you the film. Some of the more nuanced, I guess, choreographies they do is actually fun to watch, and most of the song's lyrics has deeper meaning, or at least direct meaning, with the character that actually kind of propels the story forward. And in that way, I feel like this film is a very fun watch. I liked it. I like this film a lot, and I feel like kind of this film, even though it may not be a classic or masterpiece, there's something that stays with you when watching the film, because after I watched the film, I kept on thinking about this film. Now, I won't spoil the ending, or I won't spoil anything, but as the film was moving towards the ending, I was kind of expecting what the ending should be. And I kind of had in my mind that if the ending was not like that, I would not like this film, or I would not be thought of it as a memorable film. And of course, thankfully, this film actually got that. And I guess you can always also get a lot of hints, because this film actually won Palme d'Or in Cannes, and Palme d'Or gives their award to Cannes gives their Palme d'Or to very certainly specific kind of films, or films that are just different and kind of subversive in a way. And in that way, All That Jazz also did that. I really like the ending, though I could have done with a more vague ending. I think that would have worked just as effectively, but I guess that's not what Bob Fosse's storyline or storytelling device is, because Bob Fosse is actually first a choreographer and a theater producer. So in that way, I feel like he's done an absolutely tremendous job, and that's why I give this film 4 out of 5. Even though I do not like that much musical, or do not care for musicals, or think a lot about musicals, this is definitely a film you can watch and enjoy. even if you don't like musicals. And I think a lot of people, and like everybody would say that, and I'm just repeating the word because I think in 2021 this film still holds.